What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel One Man's Walk. I am your host Gamal, back at you with another one. So what do we have for you today? Another sub request. The Lobby Boyz, Maino, Jim Jones. You know how we do on the channel. Let's get to it right after this intro.
Clean your house music. You can clean too.
Welcome back. So like I stated, we're going to get into this new Lobby Boyz, Maino, Jim Jones, another sub request. Excited to get to it. But before we do, let's get this housekeeping out the way. If you guys have not already done so, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post bell notifications so that way you don't miss any of this amazing content. Behind me, you can see the latest video was up. Haven't done gospel in a while, but I do have up CC Winans Believe for it. Absolutely amazing CD. Clean your house music for sure. Definitely check that out. Some other videos up on the channel right now, and we got some other sub requests. We do got the Tupac Me Against the World, Mobb Deep Hell on Earth. And we have a couple more sub requests that's coming in this week, so keep them coming. Shout out to my subs. But this one, I had two individuals. My homeboy Overtime Chris hit me up and was like, hey, I need you to get on this Lobby Boyz for me. And then my homeboy Donnie hit me up and was like, you need to get on this Lobby Boyz for me. So I figured, hey, let me check it out. Let me listen to it. Let me see what it's about. I'm a Jim Jones guy. I've been a Jim Jones guy. You guys know. You guys can see the Dipset versus Locks video that I did. I was at the concert. I was there rooting for the set. I'm not gonna lie. I was rooting for the Locks too. Don't get me wrong, but I was definitely rooting for the set. I do have Maino CD upstairs. I do have the Jim Jones CD upstairs. You know what? It's been a long time since I did the props. Give me a second. Let me get these props. Be right back. So I'm back. Been a while since I've actually had props on the channel, but so you guys know it's real. Jim Jones is my guy. I do have the other Dipset CDs upstairs, but one of my favorite CDs, definitely my favorite Jim Jones CD, but we know we got the Jim Jones. And I don't know how many people bought Maino, but I do have the first Maino CD, the $1 Million CD. It was cool. I didn't love it. It was some records I did like, but yeah, I do have it. So this Lobby Boyz, I do want to say, I'm personally speaking, I am not the biggest Maino fan. I am huge on Jim Jones, have high respect for Jim Jones and love what Jim Jones does. Maino has not been necessarily, even though I bought the CD, has not necessarily been my guy. But I do want to say, when Donnie was telling me, hey, check this out, the thing he said was Maino was getting off most on the CD. And I was thinking to myself, like, really? You sure? But as I played it, I want to say it was reminiscent to me of what Sheik did during that run of We Are the Streets. So what I mean by that is, leading up to We Are the Streets, there was Reservoir Dogs, there was Blackout, all in the same time frame almost, right? You have 24 Hours to Live. There were freestyles on Funk Flex. There were freestyles on Clue. It was world renowned that Kiss was arguably the best member. Styles is my favorite Locks member, but Kiss, Styles, and then Sheik was like way in the back comparable to the other two is how people viewed him. But from that Reservoir Dogs verse through, and I think throughout We Are the Streets, he shined brightest. I felt like he had the best wordplay, the best lyrics, the hardest verses on there. Check out my We Are the Streets recap as well. I did do that. And I feel like Crooked Eye, who's another individual I feel has been underrated, when I did the recap of the Slaughterhouse, or the rise and fall of Slaughterhouse, I felt Crooked Eye got off more than Joel. Like, we know Joel brings it, but I feel like Crooked Eye brought it more. And so it felt similar with Maino. I do want to say there's a lot of verses on here that he did. I was like, you know what? I low-key kind of like this Maino verse. So I do want to preface that and say, off the break, I thought it was a fire CD. I personally think it's way too many songs. How many songs is on here? it's reminiscent of older stuff where we used to get, yeah, it's 15 songs. I think 15 songs is way too much. I think they probably could have got it down to a good 10. I think 10 would have been reasonable. But let's get into it. You guys know how I feel. Intros always set the tone. The intros kind of let us know what we're getting into, what the CD is about, kind of give us the vibe. So let's check it out. And one thing I do want to say, one last thing. What I really do enjoy about this CD is they did something that I thought rappers should have been doing now for at least 10, 15 years, which is we're like 20 years removed from my childhood as far as the music I grew up on. 90s hip hop, 90s rap. Like that is my era of music. I didn't grow I'm born in 82, but 90s hip hop, 90s rap is what I grew up on. And so Puff and Bad Boy took from their era growing up. And I always felt, man, we should take more stuff from the 90s. It's so much. We don't need to be making records from the 70s anymore. We don't need to take records from the 80s anymore, the 60s. We need to start taking records from the 90s and the 2000s. And this CD is littered with that exact model and blueprint. And I thought that was actually fire. So let's get into it. This first record is called Project Baby. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do. I don't know yet if I'm deep diving or if I'm going to just kind of let the records play and kind of give my thoughts on it. But let's jump in. I love this beat. Off the top, this is a good way to start. I love the hook too. My mama loves me. My daddy left. No, my daddy died. I'm just mad that he left. I'm glad that he said that because I almost forgot. You guys can see the shirt. I don't know if you could fully see it, but it does say Dope Black Dad. My wife and kids got this for me last Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I want to say I appreciate you as speaking as one of your own. And obviously Mother's Day gets a lot of love and a lot of hoopla, and it should, right? It's amazing women out there, amazing mothers, grandmothers, aunties, so on and so forth. But I do feel like men do get a bad rep, and it's not all men who are not out here trying to do what they're supposed to do, raising their children, trying to remain in the household and not co-parent, but truly raise a nucleus, a family. And for those who have to raise as single dads, kudos to you guys, right? And so I do want to shout that out, and especially since Maino threw it out there and just mentioned how, you know, his daddy left. And it's not that he's not around. His daddy died. He's mad that he just left. And obviously, we don't know. I believe the impact that I'm trying to have in my children's lives, that we don't know the extent of what it's like for young Black males to grow up without their dad. The impact of not having your dad, it weighs. You don't know how it affects you. You don't know how not having that male presence in the house, how it may shift things. I was at the pool the other day and these little kids was running. They're not my kids, but I seen them running. I was like, slow down, stop the running, walk. And as I did it, one of the mothers was there with her kids, and she was like, you know, you just need a whistle or something like that. And I was like, nah, I feel like my voice says it enough, even without having to yell. I feel like, now I do yell too, don't get me wrong, I will yell. But I think sometimes like my tone and things will come across my face, and the little kids will get the understanding like, hey, slow down. And just little things like that sometimes, you know, we don't want to take for granted. So shout out to the fathers. Shout out, happy Father's Day, of course. Truly appreciate you. So let's get back to it. This one is fire. I do really like this one. Back in my steps, my friends dying. Who's next? I'm handcuffed and bruised. They beat me in my arrest. I'm from the crack 80s. I'm late inside the 90s shootouts. Over drawers, I admit that I was framing. I'm trying to put it behind me. So please just don't remind me. I like the pain in what he's saying, right? And everything he's saying is real. It's real talk. And I really do like this side of Maino. Again, in having this CD, I don't feel like we really got that. Even though he did try to do a good job of giving us a truly themed album on this one, I like the growth. You can hear it in what he's saying as he's giving us the bars on this one. And so, you know, Jim is my guy, so I will bring it up a little bit so we can hear Jim.
We did them crimes, it wasn't a choice, it was survival now. I be starting pulling up in Rolls Royces on my rifle stuff. At least you could know it that the toys got all the titles.
I say it all the time, and I'm going to move on from this one. You could not have told me back when Cam gave us Confessions of Fire and we got Me, Moms, and Jimmy was so offbeat, that Jim would be the most consistent member with the best catalog of Dipset. Now, do I think he's the best rapper per se? I still think Cam is that guy, but Jim in his own right has just been amazing. And I stand by this. I said it in my Dipset video versus the Dipset versus Locks recap versus. If they had let Jim rock more, like if Jim had been the front runner as opposed to Cam for that night and let Jim put it together, I think we get a different outcome. Or it's a lot closer than people want to admit. But hey, that's neither here nor there. We're going to move on to this next record right here, the Lobby Boyz Anthem. Now, as we get ready to play this, I don't know. This has to be Jim Jones' favorite beat. Like I want to keep it all the way 100 with you. This has to be Jim Jones' favorite beat. The amount of times he has reused this Jay-Z Where I'm From is nuts. Obviously, the first time I don't know if you know, but the first time he did it was How G Is This, which was a freestyle, super hard, had a hard video for it back on the Smack DVD come up days or whatever, but that was hot. I really like that How G Is This. And then he has another one on with Max B on the Hustlers Product of My Environment CD. I couldn't find that one. I don't know. Maybe I sold that one, but I did have that. I had bought that as well. But yeah, and so I think it's called Bright Lights, something like that. But he has one with Max B on the same beat. And then here we go again.
It's the Lobby Boyz for me.
Yeah. Can't play with it though. Lobby.
This is the video kind of remind me of Black Rod Whoa.
Yeah. As soon as the city lit, we light up the city. Diamonds and Lamborghinis, we hop out of silly. I'm standing on top of phantoms, I'm all on my ditty. That raps cover my charms, tattoos cover my scars. I look up in the sky, hope we all covered by God. Cause Lord, we still sinning and winning is getting hard. They coming with rapid terror, my is getting charged. My women is on a pole, my homies is on parole. I slap box the devil at night, we blow for blow. Yeah, I just caught my second win. You couldn't kill me, I'm a couple blessings in. I've been involved with gangbangers rocking on red and my dick is so. When you live, keep saying you gon' spin a dollar. We try you play the food like some dinner. We will certainly.
That one is fire. I'm not gonna I probably won't deep dive on the CD much, but I do like that one. That Lobby Boyz Anthem is pretty fire. But again, this has got to be Jim Jones's favorite beat because this is the third time that Jim Jones is rocking on the same Jay-Z Where I'm From beat. And for the record, as hot as I think this record is, as fire as How G Is This is, as fire as a Max B, Bright Lights, whatever, however that goes, none of them compares to Where I'm From, right? My stickler on that, and I tell people all the time, it is a fire version, so I'm fine with it. But my thing is always, when it comes to redoing a record that was super popular or that was holds great admiration and weight in the music community, you either, if you're going to do it, you need to do it in such a way that people don't know whether it's your version that's coming on or the other version. Case in point, when you hear the Flavor in the Air beat, come on, right? It starts off and you can't tell. Well, I guess Ja comes in with that. It must the joint with J-Lo. But then you take the Ashanti Foolish. You take that and you take Big's One More Chance remix. Both of them are amazing records, same beat, but two different songs. And so she did such a good job. And shout out to Murder Inc. because they did such a great job with those where they remade records in such a way that you didn't know whether the original or the new version was coming out because it was done so well. Whereas I feel like as talented as Chris Brown is, the version that he did on the Michael Jackson Human Nature beat, never liked it. Never liked it. So you either got to go with the Fugees way. That's my thought process. You either do it the Fuji way, where Killing Me Softly is done so extremely well over that you completely forget who made the original, right? If you're just doing a rendition of the same song, or you got to do it the Ashanti way, which is crush it in such a way that people don't know which is which. I don't feel in any version that Jim Jones has done the Where I'm From that is hotter than the, who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. I don't feel like he did anyone, but they're good renditions. But normally that's what I feel like when I think of that. So I'm going to skip over No Love. I'm not going to play everything again. I do think that there are records that I think are a little too long. We could have had less songs, be honest with you. But this record right here, I'm going to jump right to Praying. Now, this is my favorite record on the CD. I think this is the crown jewel of this CD. And it does star Benny the Butcher. I say star Benny the Butcher because I feel like Benny, Griselda, Conway, West, they have this ability to bring out something extra in rappers. I don't know what it is about these guys, these Griselda guys, but I'm telling you, I've said it before on the channel on records that I've covered that other artists had a Griselda feature from. There is something that Griselda, when they get in the booth with these other individuals, they bring something out of these guys. So let's talk no more. The beat.
Yeah, shout out to the that I got it out the mud with.
Yeah.
Yellow kids, streets turn us into convicts. Why is that the dirty I'm in love with? Praying with the same hands that I touch. Then this party got drunk and let an artist draw pictures on my body. Chains over necks, rocks dancing over gold. Still with it, gave my wife up for these. Yeah, you gotta understand.
That's a wild line. Gave my wife up for these hoes. Now, typically you hear that the opposite, where I gave up the girls for my wife, right? Hence, like how Andre 3000, Stax, whatever you want to call them, said on International Players Anthem, where, I typed a text to the girl I used to see, told her that I found this cutie pie with who I want to be, and I apologize if this message gets you down. Then I CC'd every girl that I CC'd around town, and he does the opposite. Maino's like, nah. I'm with the foolery. And I'm giving up my wife for the foolery, for the women, right? And listen, it happens. And so, but I actually respected the honesty about it. When I first heard the line, I was like, what? Did he say that backwards? And I listened, I was like, I guess not. But it's still a fire line. He lets us know he's with the foolery. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then he goes a step further. And I said, I can't even front. Because I'm like, for a long time, I did feel like that. Right here.
The spot, I'm a cap, I'm a butcher. Give it here, let me cut this.
I'm a butcher.
Couple that I didn't kill,
But I coulda. That I couldn't kill, but I coulda.
Shout out to the that I got it.
He said a couple dudes that I could have killed that I shoulda. Right now, I'm believing that. And he said a couple women that I could have killed, but I coulda. He said a couple women that I didn't kill, but I coulda. And I always said I hung on to that part because of the, back in the day, even for whatever it was that I was doing or did do in that period in time in my life, there are still ones that I did allow to kind of get away for whatever reason. We didn't go through with it, but the opportunity was there where they let me know, hey, just like you wanted me, I wanted you. And I said, oh, okay. So when he said that line, the thought came to my mind. I said, okay, yeah, I remember. But it's something with the Butcher I want to get to. Let's jump this up.
Game up and down, so the runs be periodic. Trying to stuff a world record in these American pockets. The curious about me, you're as copping and jury shopping. I made that white girl fly like Mary Poppins, telling me I made it, and I be like, how so crazy? I really did. I be in denial though, cause it was hard to smile, bro. Now I'm up in my whole town though. I keep a shooter like John Malvo.
He said, man. So what I love about Benny, right? I feel like sort of like how Jay-Z used to give us on Reasonable Doubt is, yes, it is drug talk, right? And again, I'm not here for the drugs and stuff like that, but I love the fact that it's not all the glitz and the glamour. Like he starts off letting us know that, the game is up and down, so the runs are periodic, meaning I'm not gonna always be up. I'm not always going to, everything is not gonna just be successes. There are pitfalls, there's setbacks, there's failures that come with this life. And him being able to say, yeah, there's gonna be some peaks, but there's gonna be some valleys. And then he said, people, talking about essentially, I'm paraphrasing about him winning. And he's like, how so? He was like, I really did some wild stuff, but I'm in denial. And I look back and I say, in my life, sometimes I look and I'm like, yo, did I really do that? Like, that's crazy. Like some of the stuff I did, some stuff me and my homeboys did. We look back and I'm like, yeah, I don't know where we get away with doing this stuff. Like, it was crazy. And so sometimes I get it when he was like, I did some wild stuff, but I'm in denial. Not out here bragging like, yo, I did this, I did this, and I did this. More so like, how in the world did I do that? How did I get away with doing that? Or how foolish was I to attempt to do that or to do that? And so I just love Benny. I feel like the bars he gives is always so timely, I guess, and so sincere. That's what I want to use. Sincere. You can hear it out of Benny. I love him, man.
Life around me, and a few of them only sit and talk about the that ain't good for them. Independent, I jumped in this business maneuvering.
Said a couple people that he helped, all he wanted to do was sit around and talk about the things that I ain't do for him. So it just goes to show sometimes you can help people 1,000 ways over, but the one time you don't do it, all they want to talk about is what you didn't do that one time and not all the times you did do, right? It's a level of ungratefulness that people have. It's super annoying and super frustrating, but that's people, right? But this verse is fire. So we can move on. The next record right here, I'm not going to stick with it, but I just want you to hear that there are so many of these records that you understand, like, hey, they're giving us this 90s vibe.
It's the Lobby Boyz for me.
This is Climb Back. But obviously, this is that I Got 5 on at the Loonies. Great CD, by the way. It was in my top 64.
Yeah, Lobby Boyz, we gon' the summer up. Coming through, a lot of toys, really about to run it up. Dropping down like
it's fire. I do like that one. I'm not going to stick with it, but I did want to give you a little vibe on that. I'm going to skip over Off the Leash. We're going to skip around a little bit. I will play Slide. It is a single. Obviously, this is another record in which they took something that everyone is familiar with, and Fabio is pretty hot. Now, so the original to this, the Swiss, what is that called? Down Bottom, I want to say, the Juvie Drag On record, which is sick, right? One of the hardest Swiss beats, one of the hardest Swiss hooks, or drag on hooks, or whatever you want to call and response hooks that Swiss is a part of. Absolutely super fire record. And I want to say, this is low key like a legit smash record. Now, I don't know how big it is. I'm not in clubs or any of those type of things, but I would assume this record is nuts right here. Again, they took 90s and 2000 music and did it. So Fabio obviously gets busy with that hook. And then obviously, while they do take elements, obviously mainly the horns, which was the prominent sound in the original, I think it is called Down Bottom, on the Rough Riders Volume 1 CD, which I think I bought that. I think I have it on cassette tape. Maybe I have it on CD and cassette tape, but that was a really fire compilation, by the way. But this is a good rendition. I think this one is better than the Lobby Boyz Anthem, to where I could say, you know what, when it comes in, and again, they put that drill kind of twist on it because you could hear the thump in the way the drums go and the sound of that is a drill sound with the horns over top. So it's a good blend of what Swiss was able to do in 1999 2000, whatever that was, that the Rough Riders Volume 1 came out. I do think it is 99. But they did a good job of that, and then blending it with what today's music. Now, me personally, I'm not a drill guy per se. Fabio does have some records I like. I really did like, and I reviewed the single he had with Kanye and Alicia on that New York City. I thought that was fire. And so, you can check that out as well. But this one is nice. I do like this slide. And again, this is just tough talk. This is not a lyrical, or I'm not looking for any lyrics on here. This is just tough talk, and the hook is crazy.
Don't make me stop. Don't make me stop. Don't make me stop. Don't make me bang, bang. Nah, trade, that's really my gang. Back to back, we gon' side to side. Everybody know we outside. Slide. Side of uptown, I'ma get money from uptown. Put me when I touch down.
Again, who would have thought Jim Jones would be this? 1997, me, moms, and Jimmy. And who would have thought? I mean, like, that. It is a testament to how hard Jim has worked at his craft to be who Jim is now. Because Jim is popping, right? And I've been on the Jim Jones train again. We got the CDs. Like, I've been on a Jim Jones train for an extremely long time. I'm here for Jim. So, but that record is fire. We'll skip up. We'll do the No Bobby V record, more so because of Fab. Skip it up for the Fab verse.
Tell me, and we gon' go and wipe this nose. Smell me? I just need a rude girl to tell me something nice. Don't tell me what you doing, baby. Tell me book the flights. Homebody, but she tell me first night. I got it the first time, ain't gotta tell me nothing twice. Life, she say I know you about your chicken. Least tell me I'm the rice. What's up? Take a look at my life. Addicted to the clubs and
They got a video for that too. I don't get what the No Bobby V title is. Is that a play on? Is it so, like, when you hear it, it feels like it faintly sounds like Slow Down. Like parts of the original Bobby V. I think that was his first single, like the first introduction to the world, at least to my recollection, for Bobby V is Slow Down. It feels like it has slight elements, but I don't know if that's why that's what that hook is, or the title of that song is No Bobby V. But if you guys know, let me know. The next record we'll play, my guy Styles is on this record, Die Young. So I'll throw it a little love because I love Styles.
Dope boy, fresh out the lobby, holding the automatic, pushing the clutch, get you the ride. I'm not affiliated, nah, I've been made. Ghost food, know that it's wicked, and I'm the sensei. Plant-based, still burn like the sun base.
I love one of the things that I do love in having Styles on a record. Styles is my favorite Lox member, one of my all-time favorite rappers of all time. Is that even I was trying to explain to people, even with the Dipset Lox thing, Jim has been so respectful of who the Lox are and being like, look, man, I'm going to take it on the chin. We didn't perform well. We definitely lost. But the Styles, Kiss, Chic are those guys. You know what I mean? And then to have him on the CD, I thought was really fire. And so I just wanted to kind of say that. I'm going to move on. The BK in Harlem is the, what is that? That is the Beans record, the Beans beat. I think Kanye had made this originally. Nothing like it.
Realest in the world, where's my word? Wear a mask in the gloves, I'm a killer with a cause. Dealer with a flow, not stepping in a rose. Big pressure on these, couldn't touch us if we froze.
And that Bean CD, that I think that's the reason. But I do know it's the one with the brown outline around it. I think it's called The Reason. But I do know that was the very first song on that CD, Nothing Like It. That was fire. And so that one's called BK in Harlem. So that was good too. This next one is definitely, so my favorite records are, the Praying record is definitely my favorite. This is my second favorite one. This Never Take Me Alive, which is the Pac Pain, which is one of Tupac's best records ever too. Shout out to that. You can check out the Pac review that I have, Me Against the World, is up right now. Check that out. But this right here, this Never Take Me Alive, man, I love it. This features Dave East. One of Pac's best records.
I'm a boss in the product Look at my environment. Damn, they ain't thinking my retirement. Mama praying for me, hope that God listening. I'm traumatized and broken, know I need fixing. I'm still writing these poems cause my life is a poem. Product of my environment, you can write in a stone. Had a dream to let our homies and Rikers come home. You start ducking cause when they bucking, they aiming right at you don't. Be careful cause they might say God listening. I'm traumatized and broken, know I need fixing. Know it's me against the world and my demons at the same time.
This one is so fire. Record one. It's such a great flip of the Tupac Pain, and that They Never Take Me Alive is something that's like so subtle in the original Pac song from the what soundtrack was that? Above the Rim soundtrack. And so that was just that's a fire one right here. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Let East rock.
They see me, they see that's him. Pablo and Lighthouse closed, 2/5 still getting stripped. My gang dealt with birds, no lying, I felt like gems. An underground king, to be honest, I felt like pimp. Put my name on the blimp, but I'm so sick talking to Tony. When he changed everything, now I hardly talk to my homie. Something about him must have been phony, I got along. First class with my loc, they treat us like we got a bomb.
It's fire. The CD's fire. It's way better than I anticipated it being. I'm just being honest with you. I do think that it is a tad long. I do think that we could have trimmed off some of the fat. There are some records I think we could have left off of the CD, but all in all, it's a fire CD. It's definitely something that can ride to. Definitely feels like new New York, if you want to call it that. Not old New York I grew up on, but new New York, and kind of what this New York vibe is. Only thing missing, honestly, because of the way it is, and obviously we got East on it, we got Styles on it, we got Fab on it, we got Young Amaya's on it, we got Fabio on it. I feel like, man, you know who was missing? I know this is random. Fat Joe. I feel like this CD needed a record with Fat Joe on it. So that's my only thoughts on that part. I feel like this record needed something with Fat Joe. But it's a fire CD. It's a fire CD, definitely. I think you'll enjoy it, riding around to it. But you guys let me know, what are your thoughts? How do you like it? What did you think of it? As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, productive, stress-free day, weekday, weekend, whenever you're listening, however you're listening. I thank you for listening. Till next time. I do want to say, so this is new, but this is the outro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I thank you guys for sticking out to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stick around for some of the other content that you see up right now. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, productive, stress-free day. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post bell notifications so that way you don't miss any of this amazing content. Share, share, share.